Welcome back to the Advocacy Update. I'm Cory, this is Jen, and Congress is back in session after their August recess, and there's two deadlines looming.
And not very many working days to accomplish what they need to do before those deadlines hit.
Exactly. The fiscal year ends October 1st. Well, the new one starts then. And then we have the end of the year as well. So let's break it in chunks. What does Congress need to do before the new fiscal year starts?
They need to get their act together and pass appropriations. There are 12 different bills. The two main that we focus on are defense and, of course, MILCON VA. But further beyond that, we're probably looking more at a continuing resolution.
What's causing that, and what are the impacts of it, more importantly?
Well, the continuing resolution has been a situation for Congress for the last 50 plus years. Their inability to get appropriations bills passed on time continues to be an issue. And that impacts our service members and their families, because there's always a chance that they won't get paid if those bills don't get passed on time, or include a provision to ensure they get paid.
And on top of that, VBA, it looks like there's going to be a shortfall there of around $3 billion that will affect disability benefits for veterans as well. And that was going to require an emergency appropriations as well. So,
right, because we're talking about money from the last fiscal year.
So that's a whole nother thing on top of that. But unfortunately, it seems like the Senate and House Veterans Affairs Committee are taking that seriously, and we will see some action there.
So we're tracking the NDAA, and we know that on the House side, it's gotten through the full floor of the House. On the Senate side, it's gotten through committee, but it doesn't look like right now they're going to be holding a floor vote. So what's next?
More than likely, what you'll see is just the conferencing process. They'll go right into that, as opposed to adding a whole bunch of floor amendments on the Senate side, which a lot of people want before an election, but also people don't want because there's an election coming up.
Right, and that's bad news for us, because the Major Richard Starr Act is an amendment that has not been proposed on the floor, so it's not attached to whatever the conferenceable version is.
Right. So just a couple things Congress needs to do between now and then, but if there's something critical that service members or veterans or their families want to get involved in, how do they do that?
Visit our Legislative Action Center. Make sure you're clicking on those calls to action and urging your lawmakers to support uniformed service members and their families. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next week.
Like and subscribe.
Please leave that in.